Most people think selling a home is just putting up a sign and waiting. But what actually happens after you decide to sell? We'll follow a seller we'll call Jordan to see the journey from his point of view. It all starts with a simple thought. Jordan is thinking of selling his home. Maybe he needs more space for a growing family, or maybe he's relocating to a different state for a new job. Whatever the reason, it's important to remember that selling isn't Jordan's real goal. Moving on is. The sale is just the process that gets him to the next chapter of his life. Right away, Jordan faces his first big fork in the road. How is he going to sell? He has two main options. The first is to sell it himself, also known as for sale by owner or FSBO. If he chooses this path, he'll be responsible for everything: setting the price, marketing the property, scheduling and conducting showings, and handling all the negotiations. The main appeal here is saving money on an agent's commission, but it means he takes on all the work, responsibility, and risk himself. The second option is to hire a real estate agent. An agent would guide him through the process, helping with the pricing strategy, getting maximum exposure for his home, and managing the mountain of paperwork. In this scenario, Jordan trades money in the form of commission for professional guidance, structure, and support. This first decision is crucial because it determines who carries the workload and risk, not whether the home will eventually sell. Let's say Jordan decides on a path. Now, the system really starts moving as he prepares to put the home on the market. The price is set, professional photos are taken, and the listing goes live online. Jordan, like many sellers, probably expects that once his home is listed, a flood of eager buyers will immediately come knocking. But here's the reality. The moment his home goes live, it enters a competitive arena. Buyers aren't just looking at Jordan's home in a vacuum. They're instantly comparing it to every other similar home on the market. The market doesn't evaluate homes one at a time, it compares them. So, his home's price, condition, and location are all being weighed against the alternatives available right now. Now, the home is live on the market. This is where a lot of sellers get anxious and confused, so it's a perfect moment to understand what's really happening. Why does a home either sit or move quickly? There are a few common outcomes. First, why might Jordan's home sit for a while? It could be that the price is just slightly off. It might be a great house, but if competing listings offer a little more for the same price, or the same for a little less, buyers will naturally gravitate towards those. Sometimes, buyers will just wait, watching to see if the price drops. Second, what about showings? Jordan might get a lot of foot traffic but no offers. This can be frustrating, but it's a normal part of the process. Buyers are filtering through their options. They're trying to find the perfect fit, and an offer only comes when their confidence in a property is high. A showing is just one step in their decision-making process. And third, why might Jordan get an offer just a few days after listing? This isn't just luck. Many serious buyers and their agents are constantly watching for new listings. They wait to see the initial flurry of activity because it gives them signals about the market's reaction. An early offer often means a buyer has finished their comparisons quickly and decided that Jordan's home is the one. Remember, offers usually come after buyers finish comparing, not the moment a listing goes live. Success. Jordan receives an offer to purchase. He's excited, thinking the hard part is over. But what is he actually agreeing to? An offer isn't just a price. It includes the price, yes, but also specific terms, a timeline for closing, and contingencies, which are conditions that must be met for the sale to go through. The offer will also introduce the concept of earnest money. This is a deposit the buyer makes to show they're serious. This money is held in a neutral account during the process. It's not automatically Jordan's money if the deal falls through. Its fate depends on the contract terms. The offer also kicks off the due diligence period. This is a defined amount of time where the buyer gets to verify everything about the property, its physical condition, its value, and any other potential risks. It's critical to understand that an accepted offer starts the process, it doesn't finish it. Next up, the home inspection. This is often a point of major anxiety for sellers. Jordan might think the buyer is just looking for things that are wrong with the house. In reality, The inspection is a professional assessment of the home's core components, its structure, its major systems like plumbing and electrical, and its overall safety. The inspector provides a detailed report to the buyer. Findings on this report don't automatically kill a deal, but uncertainty can. This step exists so the buyer can decide if the price they offered still makes sense given the home's actual condition. If the buyer is getting a loan, the next step is the appraisal. Jordan might be thinking, but we already agree on the price. That's true, but the buyer's lender needs to protect their investment. The lender orders an appraisal, and an independent appraiser evaluates the home's worth by comparing it to recent similar sales in the area. The purpose is to ensure the home is worth the amount of money the bank is lending. You can think of it this way. The appraisal is the system double-checking the price. After the inspection and appraisal, we often enter a phase of renegotiation. Based on the inspection report, the buyer might come back with a list of repair requests, or they might ask for credits at closing or a reduction in the sales price to compensate for the needed work. Jordan has a few options here. He can agree to all the requests, negotiate a compromise, or decline them entirely. This is usually the last point in the process where the price and terms of the sale can change. Finally, we're ready to close. Jordan is probably breathing a sigh of relief, thinking, we're basically done, but the system has a few final checks to run. The buyer's loan goes through final underwriting. The title company does its work to ensure the property can be transferred free and clear. All the legal documents are prepared and verified. And just before closing, there's a final walkthrough, where the buyer confirms the property is in the same condition as when they agreed to buy it. Nothing closes until every single risk box is checked. And then comes the closing day. This is the final step where ownership officially transfers. Documents are signed by both Jordan and the buyer. Funds are wired and distributed, and the keys are handed over. The system releases the home from Jordan and officially hands it to the buyer. The transaction is complete. This has been the seller's journey, from the initial decision all the way to the closing table. In future videos, we'll break down these individual steps in much more detail, covering topics like inspections, handling price changes, and what happens when a deal falls apart. If you're in the process of selling right now and want a specific step explained in more detail, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.